Hi. I know what we're doing. Hey, we're gonna go ahead and install our timing gears and go ahead and set up and make sure this engine's in time. This is one we in-framed, we put a head on it. We're going to check our cam gear backlash as well. So let's go ahead and get started. I've got all my components clean. We've got our cam retainer and our thrust plate here. I've got our new O-rings on this retainer. There's one on the edge that seals it against the housing, and there's one on the back that seals it against the head. And I always install these with a little bit of grease to help keep them from falling out upon installation. But I also find if we go ahead and install this as an assembly, the bolts are just long enough to get them started into the head, and we can gently suck all of this into position without having to hit on it with a hammer, causing the O-ring to fall out of the back. I do install these bolts with a little bit of Loctite and torque them to spec. I've temporarily installed the cam gear with just a couple of bolts to hold it secure to the cam. We'll orient it in the 12 o'clock position. We still need to pin time our engine, and then we will start to check our gear lash. These cam gears will either have an arrow or a dot locating the tooth of the gear that they want you to put at 12 o'clock position. They also usually have the word up on them as well. So our tooth that we need to line up with our mark on our housing is right here. The mark on our housing is this little raised mark right above this gear that I have at the 12 o'clock position. So we will line those up. We'll go ahead at this time and pin time our engine. There is a hole in the flywheel housing that we have located a 3/8 dowel into in order to insert into the flywheel whenever it comes around in the correct location. I'm going to slowly rotate the engine in the direction of operation, and whenever that pin falls into the flywheel, we will be at TDC 1 and 6, and then we will time it, making it top dead center compression stroke on cylinder 1. That was kind of nice. So I was hoping we would get lucky and not have to adjust this one since we were going back with a standard plate, which is what we took off of it, yada, yada, yada. That's not the case because whenever I install this segmented gear, which is just a special tool from CAT that makes this job easier, it has this almost a full half a tooth off, and I think it's got too much play. I think it's a little fat. I haven't measured it. It doesn't really matter because we've got to straighten it up just a little bit. So I will go ahead and loosen these fasteners right here. We'll leave a couple of them snug, that way we can adjust this stub shaft back and forth, which is not only going to change our backlash, it is also going to line up our teeth just a little better. So let's do that. So I've got all 6 fasteners that secure this adjustable stub shaft to the front structure loose, except for the outer 2 that I can get to the easiest. They're just snug enough to hold it in place while I tap it around with a mallet to get me right where I want to be. In order to obtain a proper gear lash measurement between these 2 gears, we must hold this bottom segmented gear steady. And to do that, we've just installed a small tab here with a threaded hole in it with a bolt installed, putting a little bit of pressure against this segmented gear to hold it still. So here you can see we are right at 11 thousandths backlash on this, which is a little fat from spec. I think it's 8, but it's also plus or minus 6. Don't quote me on that. I'd have to go look it up. Regardless, this right here is money. So I've got my 2 fasteners snug down to where it will hold this in place. I'm going to go ahead and disassemble all of this, pull this segmented gear back off, clean up my hardware, and we will Loctite it and torque that all back to spec, and we'll put all this back together. And if you'll note, my tooth is lined up dead nuts to that mark on my gear train housing. This is somewhat difficult to do with a radiator in the way. If you're looking at it from the side, it can be an optical illusion. You can be a half a tooth off and think that you're dead on the money. So what I do with a coolant pack in, I can either take my phone, take a picture of it where it's looking straight, or I can get above it and look at it with a mirror. So don't trust the whole looking at it from the side angle. It can mess you up. I've been there, learned that one the hard way. One thing I like to do before we go ahead and absolutely button everything up, we're going to unpin it. I'm going to reverse the rotation of the engine. I'm going to back it up 15, 20 degrees, and we're going to come back in the direction of rotation, and I'm going to repin it and verify that what we have set is absolutely what we want. Because it's easier to fix right now than it is when you put it in the truck and you go drive it and you're throwing a check engine light because your timing's off. I'm going to go back. Okay, so doing that, we're basically making sure we had all the gear lash in the right direction whenever we timed this and lashed the gear. And doing that just basically verifies it, so we don't have to do it twice. That is perfect.